Okay, folks, trying out some streaming again, this time with YouTube. Um, and not really sure how to share a link. Okay, we'll do that. Just in case people are interested. And working. So here's what I've got today. A couple of hopefully quick and easy improvements. One issue right here is that if you mouse over an integer constant literal, it doesn't show you anything. And I guess Merlin will show you that it's an int or a float, and that could be nice. It'll be a quick and easy change, so seems like a good thing to start with. So first of all, let's start up our an example project so that we can test it out. And so this is running the development version of the language server. So I can hover over this and it says an integer. If I hover over that, nothing happens. And we can dive in to the debug log and see that there's a hover being sent for that position, line 5, character 17, which, and there's an off by 1 because of 0 index stuff, but that is line 17. I'm going to remember to increase my font this time. Last stream it was a little bit too small. Hopefully this will work out just fine. But anyway, so there's this hover event being sent over that we saw, and nothing's happening. So let's take a look at where that's getting processed. And so we go into message handlers dot source, and there's the hover handler right here. First we get the position and then load up the compiled data for the current file. And we get this location value that I talked about last time, where and the thing that's happening for an integer constant is we're just not storing a location for it. So everything else should work out if we just decide to start storing a location. And do we have a value that will, do we have a type for that? It'll be typed, and I probably want a constant, because this isn't a reference, this isn't a definition. I probably want to add a constant to represent there. And then, of course, we'll get some errors saying this pattern matching is not exhaustive. And so constant doesn't have any references. This is find the definition. Also, we can ignore that. This is finding all the references, and that's not the kind of thing that you can find references for. And then this one, definition, same deal. I feel like I probably have some duplicate functionality in here. Hovering, we want to be able to hover a constant, right? So let's do t. Maybe we can, yeah, we can just reuse the hover for something that for a typed identifier. And let's see, I should probably take a look at chat, see if anybody's saying anything. It would be helpful if I knew how to do that. Since I don't, I'll just ignore it. Okay, so we added this constant type, and now we're handling it in the hover side of things. So new hover will know how to get the information out of it. And now we just need to create this loc when we come across a constant. And oh, my search was off. So text constant, and these are all of these constructors come from the typed tree. And whenever I'm working on reason language server, I keep the type tree definition open as a reference because it's super useful. So if I'm looking for constants, there's expression constant here that I'll need to match on in order to get that going. Here we're enter expression, so let's add a constant case in this. Of type constant, where's this constant defined? Well, this is probably in types.mli. We have constant. We do not. AST types. That's the one thing about opens. It makes it a lot harder to just look at the code on GitHub. Okay, so here we go. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have a a types.type expression for this constant. So I think I probably want to handle it separately. So this is not going to be a type expression. This will be maybe an AST types.constant. I'm wary of adding more dependencies on the global on compiler libs because I want to be able to support different versions of the compiler. But this shouldn't be too hard to convert over. Okay, so there's a constant here, which means this will no longer work, as the compiler tells me. And for the moment, we'll just do a very unhelpful constant expression. And then fix that later once we've gotten it threaded through. Okay, so we want to add a location. And let's see how we're doing it over here. So we're adding add for path, add location. Okay, yeah, that's the function I want. It just takes a location and a loc.something, which in this case will be constant. So we'll go down here to where I changed it, and do we have a location? We do not. We want the loc, and this will be constant. This is constant. Boom, that was almost too easy. Let's try constant expression, and we get Oh, interesting. That's already showing up. Well, but that's not a constant expression. Let's do this. Constant, float, constant expression. Okay. So now let's actually make this useful. Switch on that, and we've got all these types. And let's do this. Feels like, well, we don't need to get any more fancy than that, right? Int 32, int 64. We'll call this just int. And then I think we're done. How is that? Int. Okay. Also an int. Float. String. Okay, let's call that good. Let's look through what did we change. Added processing for the constant, a bunch of places where we don't use it, and then the definition, and then adding the location. That was easy, I like that. Now we can cross off this. The other ones are, the other parts of this issue are parser related, so I'm just going to let the parser fix that. So show type hover for constants. 97. Push that up, and we're good to go. Okay, is this? Let me see if there are comments I should be responding to. Maybe this will work. Going. Okay, no comments. Great. So second thing I want to fix is the very unhelpful hover that you get when you're over a module. So if we go, so more.n, it just says it's a module. Not very helpful. Let's expand that out. And because we do have the type information in many cases. And here we're saying it's a module. Let's fix that. So we've got the ability to come up with the type of it. Now I haven't done this so far because it'll take a little extra work, but we're fine with that. So here is in references when you when you command click, it'll take you to the module. So clearly there's functionality that knows how to get to the module itself. And when you are, so this is finding the definition for a loc, and in this case we have a local reference and a global reference. Those are two kinds of things that we have to deal with. One is it's within the same file, another is it's not, and we have to go spelunking through different files to come up with something. So for the local one, I'm just going to copy this over and see what happens for the moment. And okay, what is this doing? This is saying, okay, if it's a module that we're looking for, okay, you query into the modules that are exported, and oh, but if it's a top level module, What do you do about that? Because more is a, isn't it top level? Maybe it's not because I'm using packaged. It is namespace. Okay. So it is it's a global reference that we will resolve to be a tuple module eventually. Okay. So we're finding the modules. In the case that it's an identifier and it's referencing something else, then we have to dig in more. I just want to take out this. I want to extract out all this functionality so that I can use it over here. And so let's do that. Resolve module reference. Probably need these things. Stamp. And then I know that tip is module already, so I don't need that. And let's see if that works. So resolve module reference file, get module stamp. I spelled that wrong. And everything type checks, except over here, which is fine. Apparently I didn't need any of this. Okay, so this will get, so this is returning the URI and the location. And what I actually want is the structure. I don't want the contents. I want the structure contents. Or if there's no structure, to bail. So this should actually be called definition. Oh, and it died. Well, that's exciting. Index out of bounds. I was trying to parse the markdown and died. That's weird. I guess we can't use our fancy rename functionality. Anyway, we're back on track. This might be interesting to look into. Let's see, 10:27. We're trying to read back quotes and see. Okay, so we've got a code thing that's empty. I don't really want to fix this right now. Well, let's do string.length c is greater than 0, and I don't know if this will actually fix it, but seems likely that it would. We'll just guess on that one. I don't think it'll make it worse. Okay, so we're back here. Resolve module definition. Now we want resolve module reference that just returns something. Get module stamp maybe, or maybe it takes an MD. Yeah, maybe it assumes that it takes the contents and so we'll pop this out. Let's see how all this works. No, that's, we need the MD for this to work, and this needs to be shared types.module probably. Expected. Oh, this is supposed to be a shared types.module.kind. No, T? Come on. Contents. Okay, I'll actually look it up. Oh, this is a declared. Kind. Yes? Okay. So I guess that's not exactly, let's see, where am I using MD? Oh, it's just those places. Oh, well, yeah, I guess never mind on that. Let's do, I'll call this kind so it's easier to keep track of. And then we want a name, and we want an extent low. Apparently, no, I think I'm going to take a declared and I'm going to return a declared. And you'll know that we have dug down, we've resolved all the references we could. And so if it's still an ident, then it's just unresolvable. Okay. So we've got these two, and we've got an issue with something. Oh, it's this. Resolve module reference file get module MD. Okay. But actually what I want this to be is let declared, and maybe it'll return a file and a declared. Okay, so the current file and the declared, and then we can do that. Okay, so if this is a structure, we just say go to town, file, declared, we're fine. Then if we get over here, here's our declared, and so we say sum m.file md. And then that will already happen. I like this already. This is awesome. Okay, same thing here. This is just file, and this. Oh, this is our edge case. This is a top level module, not a module that's declared inside of another module. And so we can't, there's no declared associated with it. That's the issue. Okay. And so maybe this needs to be an optional declared. And so if it's a none, then we know it's referring to the file itself. So that's none, and then extent equals switch declared, do that, sum Maybe I'll call that loc. No, that didn't work either. My little rename magic is not getting me anywhere here. Okay, so what have we got? We've abstracted this functionality out so that we return either a declared, or if it's a top module, I guess that needs to be file. This is returning an optional. Okay, so I guess this needs to handle an optional, that's fine. And I think I'm happy with that, actually. So resolve module reference, we have it declared, and it's easy to get the declared if you have a stamp. Now, what do I have? What do I have over here in hover that I'm going to use? Because what I want is to go all the way from the local reference. And maybe it's not too bad. Okay, so we have a stamp, and this is going to be module, so that's fine. So how does this work? We want references dot resolve module definition, probably. No, yes. Resolve module reference, that's right. Reference, file, get module, and D, let's grab this, because this is a local reference, and we need to be able to track it down. Is this file? Nobody knows what it is. Sure types not file. Okay. So we have a file and we have a declared, and this is not happening for me. Why ever not? I guess my my compile on demand thing isn't working right. Okay. I should look into that too, because it was supposed to be recompiling stuff. Okay, so we're resolving the module reference. We have the file. We have potentially a declared. And so if this declared is okay, and we need to return text that is the thing that will show up on hover. So if there's none, then we do, it's just the file file.uri. If we have declared, then we want let's see, so if contents is a structure, what does that look like? Contents is a structure, it's got exported, it's got top level. We're going to want to go through the top level and list out everything that's in it. And module.contents, oh, capitalize the L, great. Let's see, what do I do in here? I've got a type string, which is cool. I need to check for whether Markdown is supported. Gotcha. Top level, map item. What's the type of item? It will take, I don't know if I have any place where I've got a way to just turn this into a nice string at the moment. You'd think I would. Here under typed. Oh, but I guess I just get the type string. Meh. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to say item.name.txt string.concat just to validate where we're going with this. Contents, some contents. See how that works. And then we have an ident. Instead, I'll say unable to resolve module reference. Not very helpful, but that's what I've got. And then the other things, because I'm going to have to do this whole rigmarole over here as well. So I should abstract this out. Okay. Show module. And this has something, maybe a declared. And it's a declared shared types.module.contents. Oh, but it's an option. Why is that unhappy? Or is it a kind? Maybe. Let's pass in a file. Just shared types.file. Okay. Okay, I think that show modules working. File declared. Okay. And then you just have to get the same shtick going. And then we show module and we'll say yes. Oh, but there's other things to do with the module. I'm going to bail on those. No, some and module. Okay, so what do we get over here now? It is telling us it's that file. Now, again, that's not the most helpful, right? I do want the contents of the file, which I hypothetically have, right? Because this is the file, and file has a thing. Contents is module.contents. Okay, show module contents, and top, well, yeah, I'll call it that. Top level. Is that even a type? It's a list of declared. Oh, is the norm to type out. List declared module item. Okay. And now we do show module top level. And we're good. Otherwise, if it's a file, we can do show module top level file dot contents dot top level. Boom. So now we've got the things that are exported, and it's not very eloquent because I spelled that wrong. but we're making progress, right? Well, I guess this is where I was. And then other has those things. Cool. All right. Now I want it to be in Markdown. If possible, so I'm going to indicate here whether or not Markdown is supported. Right, and I have that available here. It's a Boolean. Come on. Now show module also needs the Markdown. Solid. So, and of course we want to do better than just that. Do I have like a show declared anywhere? So I want to list out these things, and actually this could get more exciting because we'll have to recursively show the module. Okay. So for the moment, let's see if it supports Markdown. Let's put this in a code block, otherwise don't. And now at least it'll be vertical. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and commit this, and maybe I'll open an issue and see if somebody wants to contribute printing all these out, because I think I've done most of the plumbing. And there was a bit of plumbing involved. Okay, so list module contents and hover. Okay, feeling good about that. And okay, the other thing that I wanted to do, which I have an open issue for, or maybe is the text still not working? Let me see. I made it bigger. I'll make it bigger again. Okay, this is massive text, but we'll see if we can make it through. Okay, the issue that I was going to fix was not that actually. That's a little more work than I want to do right now. A constructor should report the types of its arguments as well as the type name. Yeah, so I'm hovering this. I want to know what are the types of arguments, especially if I'm in a pattern. So let's see if we can do that. So hover on a typed thing, and okay, if this is a constructor, currently I'm bailing. Let me make sure that this is the right place to be jumping in. Ba-ba-bum. It says it's a constructor. Solid. And this is the doc string. Oh, and I just concatenate these things together. This is the arguments. That's exactly what I want. So let's do map through those, and there's T, and this T is not, okay, type expression. I can get a type string out of that. This, and now I return the type string, and then do string dot concat it's like this, and then pipe that into sum. Maybe that's all I need. Let's try it. Okay, and it takes an int, but we also need the name of the thing. Okay, so there's this, and set its sum, and then the text, and we'll put braces around it so it's clear what's going on. Now it says things int. I love it. Okay, does it work here? Yes. Now I do want it to be in the markdown block. So let's do, let's make a little function for this. And this will be code block type string, and here we want to do code block of this. Okay, and this comes up, and this comes up. Okay, so we've done several little hover improvements. Show constructor arguments when hovering a constructor. And I think I'm going to call that good. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll work out the correct font size one of these days, and see you later.